here, welcome. I've spent nearly 4 months here in Thailand and most of that time I've spent in Phuket. And this is a video that I wish I had a few months back, so hopefully it can be helpful to you. It's going to help you save some money, tell you how much scooter rental is and if it's safe to ride here, what the best network provider is if you want to get a SIM card for your phone and what the best apps are to download, what's the easiest way to get a visa, what the areas are like and which area is best for you to stay, and much, much more. So stay tuned and let's get started. One of the biggest draws of actually coming to Thailand for a lot of us is the fact that it's going to be cheaper than a lot of other places. But one thing to bear in mind about Phuket, and I'm sure you will have heard this already, is it's not as cheap as other parts of Thailand, which is true. But as long as you book ahead with accommodation and you shop around, you will find good deals. Different parts of the island cost different styles of accommodation cost different. And one little tip with that too is if you book a few weeks or a month, then you'll always get a discount, especially if you book direct. So if you're planning to stay a little while, the longer you can stay in one place, the cheaper it will be. Other than that, the food, if you're eating local food and going to markets and eating at restaurants, you'll definitely find good deals and you can definitely find food for good value, good quality, and that tastes nice. But if you want to eat like Western food, burgers, chips, pizzas, and eat in more modern restaurants, things can get a little pricier, and although they're not going to be the same price as back home, Europe, US, Australia, what they will be is a little bit more expensive than what you might have budgeted for. So that's something to bear in mind. If you want to eat Western all the time, that's cool, but just be prepared to pay the price. Now the same goes when renting a scooter or motorbike. You can rent something for dirt cheap. I know a guy paying £75 a month, which is around about $90 and around about 3,000 baht. And then you can pay anything up to 10 or 12,000 if you want something on the higher end of what you're riding. I pay anywhere between 5,000 and 6,500 baht, which is around about 125 to 150 pounds per month for a nice scooter. The 5,000 baht got me a 160cc brand new bike, so you can still get a lot for your money, and fuel isn't going to be that much either. To fill up a smaller bike, you're looking at about 120 to 150 baht. Just a little something to help you out if you want me to point you in the right direction of a scooter rental company in whichever area you're planning to stay. Hit me up, let me know. I've rented from about 5 or 6 different companies all around the island, so hopefully I can point you in the right direction. Drop a comment below and I will tag in the company or give you the contact details of who to get in touch with. Fuck. This has just fallen over. I'm hoping that the screen protector has protected that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big cracks on it. Ah, please don't have broken my new iPhone. Now I'm relocating for the next part of the video because the wind is killing my audio. One of the biggest reasons Phuket attracts so many people is because it's got something for everyone. Whether you want to come away and party and go to Patong and you've got your ladyboys, you've got your nightlife, you've got your bars, restaurants, or whether you want a bit more of a quiet getaway, you've got places like Nai or Mai Khao Beach, which are up in the north. Or if you want to come for fitness, you've got places like Soi Thai, which is where Tiger Muay Thai is, and Unit 27 and all of these other Muay Thai and fitness gyms along one street. You've got something for everyone here. So Patong gets a bit of a bad rap, but I actually quite like it. I think it's good fun because you have got the mix of nightlife if you want it, but you've also got the restaurants, the beach and everything else. And yeah, it can get quite crowded and busy, but as long as you stay away from the absolute thick of it and don't mind having a bit more of a full-on holiday, it can be a good place. Other than that, you've got Rawai down in the south, which is near Nai Beach, which is one of the most popular and beautiful beaches on the island. And then you have got Chalong, which is the more fitness central hub that is just 10 to 15 minutes away from Phuket town. You'll also find more family built up destinations, I guess you'd call it, with Karon and Kata, where you've got the beaches, the nightlife still, and the bars and the food, but a lot more low key than Patong. And one little additional bonus to that You can do a lot of day trips to places like Phi Phi. You can even catch a ferry across to Krabi quite easily. You can go up to Phang Nga, you've got Similan Islands. So there is a lot to do, and it's a good place to kind of base yourself if you want to explore a few of the islands and get away from Phuket for the day as well. So if you're planning to get a scooter when you're here in Phuket, there's a couple of things that you should note. One thing is that I've read online a bunch of times that you shouldn't ride here, it's far too dangerous and everything else. And I think if you're not a confident rider, maybe it's not for you, but personally, I think as long as you ride safe and have a couple of these things in place, then you'll be sound.
Can you let me show that again? Nah, it's all right. You never forget. It's like riding a bike, isn't it?
So number one is wear a helmet, man. Just put it on your head. Like, helmet on, no hassle, clip it in, and then at the very least, if you were to come off, you've got a bit of road rash, you've got some grazes, at least your head's intact, at least you've not got a brain injury or anything like that. Just put a helmet on. I get it if you're popping to a shop 100 meters down the road, but if you're going a bit further, put it on. It does nothing but help you. Second thing is get yourself an international driving permit. It means that if you do get pulled over, which is quite likely at some point if you're here for an extended period of time, you've got your proof that you are allowed to drive here. So keep your international driving permit on you and your driver's license. It's so easy to get. In the UK, you walk into a post office and within about 10-15 minutes, you've got one for less than a tenner. It's going to save you a lot of money if you do get pulled over, because there are checkpoints all around the island and they're not there all the time, but they are there some of the time. One is at Chalong roundabout, one is at the bottom of the hill where you come from Patong to Coron. There's another few scattered around Patong, so there's plenty about the place, and there is a chance you could get pulled over. If you've got your helmet on and you've got your permit and license on you, then they haven't really got any grounds to try fine you, but they still might try find some issue. But as long as you've got them, you've got no need to pay them. If you haven't got them, you always do run the risk, but I know some people that have been here for months and never been pulled over, like myself. And then I know people that have been here 2 days and been pulled over. Oh, and final thing to note on that, the Thai police are a little bit corrupt. I've had a mixture of coming together, and even though this trip I haven't been pulled over, I have been pulled over in Chiang Mai in the past and been fined for absolutely nothing. So that's another reason why I say get them 3 things and you'll be sound. Now, even though Phuket's a tropical island in Thailand, it does actually rain here. It's not sunny all year round. You've got 2 distinct seasons. You've got the dry season and the wet season. The dry season officially runs from December to about March, but I mean, it's April right now and it's beautiful. I've been here in April before as well and it's been really nice, but it just does mean you'll get a slight bit more rain. And as the months progress, April a little bit wetter than March, May a little bit wetter, and so on and so forth. But the wettest months are around about June, July, August, September. So if you're here April, May, you're probably still going to get some nice weather. October is still a little bit wet. November starts drying up, but still a little bit wet. And then December it dries up. January, February, March are going to be the driest months and the best months to travel if you want guaranteed sunshine. And it's going to be a little bit cooler and a little less humid than the wet months as well. Now, the wetter months do have their perks because it also means you're going to have less tourists here. Things are going to be a little bit cheaper, less busy, and also, it doesn't mean that it's going to rain every single day. And even if you look online and it says 15 days or 18 days or something along them lines of rain per that month, it doesn't mean that's going to be 15 or 18 solid days. That means you will get 15 or 18 days out the month where it will rain. But when it rains, it pours. So get yourself a raincoat if you're coming during that time. To make your life a little bit easier when you're here, there's a couple of apps that are worth noting to download onto your phone. Number one is Bolt, and that's going to be your taxi or Uber if you like, and that's going to be able to get you from A to B anywhere you are in the island. It will tell you the price beforehand, and then you can pick the option that you want. The second one is Grab, and Grab is good for getting like a motorbike taxi if you're in Patong or if you're in Phuket town, and it's dirt cheap. Also, Grab delivers food, so it will deliver absolutely anything. Food from street food to KFC to burgers, pizzas, everything you can imagine. Finally, if you're planning to use your phone over here and want a SIM package, when you get off the plane and you're in Phuket airport, there'll be all of these different network providers and these stands and these people working. TrueMove tends to be the best one and the most recommended. And if you take your phone over to the stand and give them your passport, they'll fit it for you. You'll just pay them and you can choose the package you want. So the final bonus point on this is visas. Now, when I entered Thailand, I got a visa on arrival for 45 days that was completely free. And then after the 45 days, if I want to extend, all I do is go into an immigration office and I can pay to extend for 30 days. So it gives you a total of 75 days, and that visa extension for 30 days costs around about 1,800 baht, if I remember right, which is around about 40 pounds. Now that's a total of 75 days in the country, but after that, if you did want to stay and did want to repeat that process, which you could, you would just have to leave the country and come back in. Now you can do what you call a visa run through one of the tourist operators, and all they'll do is get you in a minivan, drive to one of the borders, you'll cross the border, they'll do some kind of paperwork and meet up thing and then come back in. Or you can do what I did, which is actually leave the country via a flight and then come back in. I went to Vietnam for a week, but I do know people that have flown out, literally checked out, checked back in and flown back into Thailand on the same day. So there's an option for them both there. But if you did want to stay for longer than 75 days, that's how you do it. I know if you're from some countries, you only get 30 days on arrival, but you will still get that visa free, and then you'll still be able to do the 30-day visa extension, which will give you 60 days. Guys, I hope that helped you as much as it would have helped me before coming to Phuket, and just a few useful tips. If you've got any questions, pop them down in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer. I've been here a little while, so I know a thing or two about the place. And as always, I appreciate you tuning in. And if you like the video, please drop us a comment, like, or subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.